everyone, and welcome to bookmytherapy. Today we have on board Amizhthini Nakiran. She's a seasoned professional with over 6 years of experience in business analysis and project management within the rapidly evolving IT industry. She's the founder of Ace IT, a software and AI development firm, and recently launched PawSmart AI, a health tech startup. She has a proven track record of driving success across a wide range of industries, including consulting, finance, manufacturing, health, and logistics. Her expertise in agile and scrum methodologies, along with her pursuit of PMP certification, reflects a dedication to continuous professional development and excellence. Beyond her professional achievements, she is deeply engaged with her community. She actively volunteers with nonprofits focused on leadership and education and is a passionate advocate for human rights, women's empowerment, and mental health awareness. Her activism and community work highlight her commitment to creating a meaningful impact, both professionally and socially. Welcome to the podcast, Ami.
Hi, Neha. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you today in your podcast.
Thank you so much. It's the pleasure is all mine. So I have a few questions for you.
Mhm.
Which are the intersection of your work and mental health and women empowerment. So the
Sure.
first one, so the first one is what inspired you to transition from consulting to founding Ace IT, and how did your journey in tech begin?
Okay, so my tech journey began like probably very long time back when I was a child. I'm always curious about tech, and I started learning computer related stuff. We all started with paint, right? Like I started when I was 5. So thanks to my mom, but I was always curious about computers and how they work and all. But again, I chose to do computer science, IT, and management. It's a combined course for bachelor's. I chose that, and I started my first company while I was in my undergraduates, along with a few friends of mine. So I was like freelancing for a while. Then I got some bigger projects. Then I collected a team and started doing this. That's how I started. So parallelly, I started getting into consulting. That's tech consulting and ERP consulting, obviously. So because I thought like it was more parallel. I didn't move from one to another. It was like in the same time. So I thought like if I get into more like mid role, I can manage my company, because it was always my dream to run my own company. And I was never a person who wanted to be in the corporate world, or corporate grow up in the corporate ladder. So it was my dream, but I had to financially support me as an undergraduate, studying and taking care of myself. So I had to work parallelly. So that's how it started.
Wonderful. And as a woman entrepreneur in the male dominated tech industry, what challenges have you faced and how did you overcome them?
Okay, so yes, tech industry is highly male dominated. Even I'm from Sri Lanka. I am very new to Canada, a new immigrant. But like even here, like in the co-working spaces, in the places I go, I see like very lesser women. I expected a different scenario in the West, but again, so it's not as supportive as here for women in a country like Sri Lanka. It's very much male dominated. And also the challenges women face in not only in tech but also in every industry or every type of job or every role is very unique, and it's something that should be discussed. So like for me, facing, I mean, in terms of my corporate life, I didn't face much challenge, because I wanted a job to keep my, to keep my financial status good, and also to fund my company. So it was going good. But when it comes to running my own company, first of all, as as a woman, my parents didn't approve of me doing such thing. They didn't even like me doing IT. But again, going into a field that is mostly dominated by men, they thought like women cannot do that, women are incapable of doing that. I think they still have that mindset. So that's kind of unchangeable in the community where I come from, that needs a lot of time, a lot of you know a lot of success, women becoming successful and letting the next generation and next generation and the other generations move freely in the space. Like we paving the path will make the changes in the mindset of the people, I guess. So first of all, family didn't agree of that, and then like I didn't find much support in my friend circle also, because like we all wanted to, that's a middle class mindset, right? Like we all want to get a job and settle down. They didn't want to get into a startup or a small company or start something on their own. That's on the other side. But like just because I was a woman, my some of my friends didn't want to work with me because they thought I would dominate them. There I like, like this, they don't want to work under a woman. So those kind of mindsets were there initially. I think I don't see that anymore. And also like when acquiring projects, when I quote for projects, when I compete for projects, in government spaces and all, the chances women entrepreneurs get is very very low, because they think the authorities, the system, the culture, and everything thinks that women cannot do it. So that's a major challenge that I had to break. I had to keep breaking on that. So yeah.
Wow. I hear a lot of resilience in your stories and more strength to you as you keep on inspiring with your great work. So, thank you for sharing that. You mentioned you moved from Sri Lanka to Canada, right? So, how did this relocation to establish a firm and the immigration process impact you both personally and professionally?
To be honest, it was a very traumatic experience for me, because when I started back in the university and when I kind of like took a next step and scaled the company, there was COVID. And Sri Lanka was always an economically and politically unstable place. So there was always this problems. We had a 30-year civil war, right? So like even after civil war, things were not really settled, and there were ethnic issues. And you might have heard that Sri Lanka literally went bankrupt. So at that point of time, I was actually planning to migrate to US and establish my company there. But then again, few of my client base, like few of my initial clients, are based out of Canada. So I chose to move to Canada. But again, getting a visa was not really easy. So I chose to move as a student. So having come to Canada as a student and doing, like we have to be self-sustainable, and we have to support, like we have to pay the tuition, we have to pay for our living expenses, and it's a lot of things, right? So I didn't do any part-time, but I had been working on my like business again. So I have already registered my company like long back in Canada, so I had some connections, I had some network here. So it was kind of uh, you know promising for me, because that's why I chose to move to Canada. But it was really really depressing personally, because I had to leave everything there and start all over from scratch in Canada. So that was a very tough journey, like mentally. Like I went through a very um, much of a pain, because I was diagnosed with, for a particular period of time, I was diagnosed with clinical depression. So it was really challenging. But professionally, it was all about, for me, it was all about me putting myself out there, branding myself, networking, meeting people, connecting with them. It is what helped me to navigate the professional space. So I took a break, like a 3-month break, because of my depression, and like came back again. So yeah, and I think every international student would have faced the same. Nothing new, but like running a business along with the like studies, because most of the people come here to work, which I didn't do. So I was focused on building my business. So that was the only difference. But still, the journey is kind of depressing for everyone, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. This is especially if you're by your own in a different country. It
Yeah.
is a extremely dark and long and lonely journey.
And also,
As
like,
like,
winters are very lonely.
yeah,
Like I'm from a tropical country and coming to a different country. Like I came in winter. Oh my God, it was terrible. Yeah.
but you're doing a great job. So congratulations on that. Maintain balance and manage your time in the middle of all of this work.
Okay, so like I think I'm the wrong person to ask because like I think I really don't think I have a personal life, but I'm trying to change that right now. It's mostly like professional life, work, 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 because my team is based out of Sri Lanka. My staff are based out of Sri Lanka, so I don't want them to work in Canadian time. So I'll be up most of the time to talk to them, to have meetings, and talk to few clients in Sri Lanka. I have a client base in Sri Lanka as well. So like it's kind of I mean, like it has been 2 years in Canada, and kind of still living in between Canadian and Sri Lankan time. But in terms of like managing time and lifestyle, I always maintain a healthy food habit, which is something that helps me. And also like I kind of allocate I started allocating some personal time for me, for my self-care, which is very, very important, which I didn't really care initially. It was more like I was focused on the work and the goals, and it's hard, right? Like to start something new and keep it on running. But like now I started giving some time to myself, which is really helping me, in fact, especially my mental health. If I couldn't work some days, it's okay. I don't be hard on myself as I used to be. So I got some maturity, I guess. So I'm like letting it easy these days.
Yeah, that's important. Taking the time for yourself.
Yeah,
Really
there can
important.
be like days where we are down, not being able to do things, and it's all right. It's okay to be feeling like not gonna do anything like days. Also, it's fine, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. Taking time off is very important because then it will give you the energy, the strength to keep going the next day,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, very nice. Speaking about mental health, this is something that you're passionate about, right? So, how do you think mental health challenges uniquely affect women entrepreneurs?
I'm very much passionate about mental health and talking openly about that because from the society I come from, I'm sure you would be facing the same. uh, Women or men, mental health is not at all a concern, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So they
100%.
don't
Yeah.
they don't really care about mental health. So if we want to talk to our parents about something stressing us, they would start defending, like, because they don't understand the concept. Maybe like they are not aware of that. So I actually realized like I had a kind of a narcissistic childhood. So I fought all my way to come out of that. And when I came out and started living on my own at the age of 20, I realized, like, in a culture like ours, like coming out of home and living alone, especially as a woman, is not a choice.
How mental health challenges uniquely affect women entrepreneurs?
Yeah. So for women entrepreneurs, like, we have to fight for opportunities. Opportunities are the real problem, right? We are not given equal opportunity. There are allocations, there are grants, and there are funds for women entrepreneurs, which is budding in a country like Sri Lanka, not well established, and not people are also not really aware. So like the challenges are huge because men are like known to have you know mark their success in the space, and when a woman enters, she will have to manage most of the time. Of a married woman, if she wants to do a business, she might have to manage the family, she might have to take care of the kids, she might have to take care of the family, and then run the business. If there is no support from the how home, so she would be helpless, right? That will cause a lot of stress in women. Luckily for me, I had to make all my decisions myself. I chose to make all my decisions myself. But there are women who are affected on a daily basis just for choosing whatever they want to do, and blamed for whatever they want to do, and character assassinated for whatever they want to do, which I have also faced. But like, not everyone is like able to handle that. So we don't have the support system in our society, which is a sad reality.
What advice would you give to women who are facing burnout or stress while balancing the pressures of entrepreneurship?
I think like entrepreneurship is always a journey of pressure, I would say. I mean, it's associated with passion. And yeah, passion is gonna give you like a goal to achieve, and that is gonna pressurize you, obviously. But like organizing oneself, and especially like seeking help, it's better if they can find some like-minded people, share their work and burden, because that would really relieve the stress. But that might not be possible for everyone. But again, focusing on their mental health, focusing on their physical health, doing maintaining a good physical health, like going doing exercises or yoga, doing some activities for relieving stress and keeping the mind fresh, would help women to maintain their you know sanity, I would say. So sharing and delegating and taking care of oneself is very, very important. Self-care and self-love is very, very important. And also to never give up. We will be pressurized in from every way from the society. People would tell like, this wouldn't work out, you're wasting your time, all these things. But like, never giving up on oneself and trusting oneself is very, very important, in my opinion.
Yeah, these are like really great advices. So thank you for sharing that. As a leader in both tech and social causes, how do your values of women's empowerment and human rights shape your business practices?
Yeah. So for me, like when I initially started my company, I only wanted to hire women. That became kind of impossible because, like, I cannot depend on talents. Like, I cannot differentiate talents like that. But my major goal was to hire women and empower them, and also like it's more. I like to apply the policies and principles that I practice in my life wherever I go. So it's in my organization, or in the organizations I'm associated with. So I would be a part of those things if they like were tallying with my values and my standards of human rights or women rights. So like I try to bring that out in every way possible. And in terms of women empowerment, I try to kind of give sessions, like organize sessions for my staff on and off, like exposing them to the world, because most of these people are from outside the metro city, like the villagers and my hometown. So like their exposure to outer world is limited. So in most cases, like parents wouldn't allow the children, if it is especially women, to go to the city and work, even if they have completed something, a bachelor's, a master's, or anything. There will be a restriction to go. So I like to give placements to those kind of women, because they don't get the equal chance as others, right? So that was my motive initially. So I like to hire, I'm still like trying to be very inclusive, and like to hire all sort of people into my organizations. And also like human rights practices, as I said, like anything. I mean, for me, it's about kindness is everything. Kindness and empathy are very important things. And also like values. I don't speak about the values that the society have defined, but the human values we carry: love, affection, and compassion for the people around us, and respecting people, respecting others is very, very important. So I kind of emphasize that in my working environment very much. That's very, very important for me.
Wow. Back to your business venture, can you tell us about the role of AI in healthcare and how PawSmart AI is innovating in this space?
Okay, PawSmart AI is a kind of a passion project for me. So when I was in like COVID, during COVID, I was kind of all alone and too much work to handle. A dog found me. I didn't find a dog. So a dog found me and I got her to my place and I started raising her. She changed the perspective of life for me, the unconditional love she gave me. So then I started rescuing stray dogs and feeding stray dogs and a small kind of a rescue work I started. So this project is 100% for the animal welfare. So like this AI in healthcare is plays a very important role and will play a very important role in my opinion, because the area I am working on is early diagnosis of diseases, and there have been a lot of researchers and projects done by governments as well, research projects going on in government levels as well for early detection of cancer like diseases using AI, which is made possible with AI. So that's what we are doing in PawSmart AI for animals, for pets at the moment, cats and dogs. So we created a device that is still under FDA approval in Canada, a device to identify the diseases early on by scanning and using different sensors, especially towards cancer research. So I worked with veterinarians from Sri Lanka and Canada for this research based project. And I recently launched it, but like FDA approval is pending, so I pivoted a bit and launched a version of it.
Very nice. So looking ahead, what is your vision of A's IT and PawSmart AI?
So vision of ASIT is like I would like to say like ASIT is a software and AI development agency. So my goal was to run this company based out of Sri Lanka and bring in projects to Sri Lanka and like bring in more employment opportunities into Sri Lanka, and help raising the living standard of people, at least the people who would work for ASIT, to the level I can. That's the goal of ASIT. So basically all my projects currently are based out of North America and Europe. So all the employees are based out of Sri Lanka. I'm not gonna only the salespeople for PawSmart and salespeople for ASIT are based out of Canada. So other than that, I would like to provide and create more employment opportunity through ASIT. That's the goal. For PawSmart, it's gonna be a lifestyle brand. For me, it's a passion project. So currently, I, I have taken a step back and got into the director role into SIT and have passed the management to a set of young, skillful, entrepreneurial mindset people with entrepreneurial mindset to run the business, while I do the marketing and get the projects from North America and Europe. And PawSmart is something I am completely focused on. I'm the CEO of PawSmart and I'm executing the project. So I'm completely focused on PawSmart AI at the moment. And
Wonderful.
it's going to be completely focused on healthcare and behavioral and health, any health related concerns in veterinary space.
Wonderful. Who could think of it, right? So it is so creative. Very nice.
Yeah, a dog made me think of it. Yeah.
So going forward, like how do you see women shaping the future of technology?
Actually, there are a lot of women who are doing great job in technology and they are paving the path for all of us. But still, the representation is very, very low, right? So, like, as we see, like, out of three people, we can say one woman maybe right now, but like I think that representation should increase and women should be empowered, given more chances. We have to, I mean, we won't be given anything on a golden platter. We have to create the space for us. We have to support each other. So women should support each other in creating the spaces for us. So shaping the future of technology or any industry is in our hand. Like women empowerment and equal opportunities for women is a must in any kind of field. When a woman grows, they say, right, like when a woman is educated, the whole generation would be educated, a whole
Yeah.
village would be educated. When a man is educated, it's just for himself.
Yeah.
So educating a woman and giving her the opportunities and at least giving her the mutual and mental support to go and do whatever she wants wherever she go and like achieve the things is something very important, not only in technology but in any field.
Advice would you give to your younger self?
I think I was brought up with a very competitive mindset because in a country like Sri Lanka, in a community, in a Tamil community, we were oppressed ethnically, and like we were going through a 30-year civil war. Our society and the community didn't have any other way than education, so we were forced to be the best. Only the best can survive, kind of a thing. So I used to be very competitive, and it was like I was more focused on success, like being first in the class, being first in the island. Like it was my focus. So at a point when I stopped and looked at me in the back, I didn't achieve anything by that. I became kind of a bad person, in fact, competing with others instead of competing with myself and empowering myself or enhancing myself in terms of the knowledge, in terms of the person I am. So I think like the education system there is very, very competitive because it's a government education system and a free education system. So if you have good scores only, you will get the scholarship and you will get to the good universities, government funded free universities, right? So it was kind of um, necessary in a country like that with the laws and regulation like that. But again, I would say like I in Canada and some Western countries, the education system is kind of good. Like at the age of 5, children are still playing in the play school and they don't know. At the age of 5, we would like I'm sure you would have learned all the numbers, all the names in the books
Yeah.
and everything, right? That's how we are made to be. I think like we lost that childhood. I think being fed like fed to study and run and do a get into a rat race life.
Yeah.
So I think like I should have focused on me much more than focusing on being competitive and winning, because I define success as a different thing right now. For me, success is not compared to anyone else at this moment. It's just about me being happy, me being productive, and it's about that. So I would say like I realized that I should have realized that earlier, maybe. It would have been peaceful. So
Yeah.
never to compare myself and get into the rat race life. It's the advice I would have given.
Thank you so much for taking the time and making it to this podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so
And
much for having me. It was so fun. It was fun talking to you actually. Like, I was able to talk very freely, openly. I appreciate that. You created the space. Thank you for that.
you're very welcome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Have a great day.
You too.